I just spent 48 hours making a game for the GMTK Game Jam. This Game Jam is one of the most popular game jams, bringing in over 20,000 contestants and almost 7,000 entries. I participated in this jam 2 years ago, leaving me with 2 main goals for this jam. 1. Get a higher overall rating on this game than the last time I participated in the jam. And 2. Win the jam. Since I've been continuously making games and working on my skills, it should be easy achieving these goals and beating my younger self. Right? Each game entry had to be centered around role reversal. Usually when jams start, many ideas fly around my head. But when I looked at this theme, nothing came to mind immediately. It's a bad start already. Only 48 hours to complete your game, and I spent the rest of the day settling on an idea. One idea I had was to do a puzzle platformer where you control the level pieces first, and then it switches and reverses to the characters which move in opposite directions. But one thing I did know is I didn't want to create a platformer game, as all of my previous game jams have basically been platformers. This theme is good because there's so much you can do with it, but as I started coming up with ideas, I realized I wasn't 100% sure how to make them, or I didn't have the art since I was a one-man team and I couldn't find anything online. After the first day almost being finished and I slowly started crossing off ideas, I finally settled on one. The puzzle platformer I crossed off first. I didn't really want to make it, and I wanted to challenge myself, but I literally didn't have any other feasible ideas. Time was running out and I wanted to complete these goals. At the beginning of day 2, I started with the mechanics and got the basics of the game working. The players move in opposite directions and you can tell which player you control by the little triangle above their head. I then used this mechanic for changing between level obstacles as well. But the game had to be finished today, as tomorrow is reserved for making cover art and submitting. I still had a problem with the game idea. I couldn't see how the game could be fun, which really demotivated me and made me procrastinate actually making the levels. At this point, I didn't know if this game would surpass my previous entry 2 years ago because it just wasn't that fun. So the whole day went by and I made everything else but the levels. The UI, main menu, level select screen, music, sound effects and all. Everything was done and looked so polished, yet there was no gameplay. So, with 13 hours left, I finally started to make the game. I started with the basic intro level and knew that I wanted to create 10 other levels. The first level, besides the intro level, was super easy as you just had to move to the other side. I've always had trouble with balance and progressive difficulty in my past games, and I didn't want to mess it up in this game as well. But as you'll see later in the video, I don't do a great job of this either. As of now, all the gameplay I had so far was moving boxes around the level to help the players reach their corresponding doors. I knew there had to be something else to make the game a bit more fun. So I decided to add pressure plates, or yellow squares that make some walls disappear, allowing the other characters to reach their door. And finally, at 6 in the morning, I had basically finished the game and it was time to go to sleep before wrapping the game up the next day. The Game Jam has 3 main categories for rating the games: enjoyment, creativity, and presentation. So the polishing and cover and page art for the game would be important for the presentation aspect. There were only a few hours left to submit the game, so before working on the art, I wanted to try and add some lighting to the game because I thought it would heavily improve the look. The lighting took a lot longer than expected because I had to add it to each scene instead of applying it to a single prefab because of the way I set up the game. Once I was happy with how the game looked and the lighting came out, I only had about 15 minutes left before 1 o'clock, the time all project submissions had to be in. So I immediately went to work on the cover and page art. I'm not sure why with 10 minutes left I decided to try and create a GIF for the cover, but it ended up not working and only leaving me with a few minutes to get some screenshots up. And obviously when you're in a rush, everything has to go wrong. So at this time, Canva, the site I used to edit the pictures, stopped working for no reason and I only had 1 screenshot up and not my favorite cover image. But I still wanted to get my game submitted into the jam, so with 1 minute left, I was able to submit it, but with half a finished cover page and game page. But then I realized that a whole nother hour was added to the jam. This helped so much as I was able to take a quick break, finish the screenshots and game page, and feel confident with my entry. There were many good games that I played and rated, and my game also got a bunch of reviews and feedback. Most people said they enjoyed the game, but they also claimed it was very hard. Even Aya played my game, which was super exciting, but even he only got past the first level. I'm hoping my presentation will carry the overall rating. If my game was just another jam game and I played it, I probably would have given it a 3 for enjoyment, 4 for creativity, and 4 for presentation. And that would mean it would do better than my past jam game, so hopefully the raters agree. And finally, the results came out a week and a few days later. And this is the part where I'm expecting a drum roll. My game had an overall rating of 3.644 stars, and I came in 954th place, smashing my goals as that places me in the top 14% of all entries. I'm so happy and proud with what my game was able to accomplish. If you want to try it out, the link will be in the description. Enjoy!